Dr. Jere here with Mills Chiropractic and Wellness Center. And this month through January, we've really been focused on goal setting and New Year's resolutions and, just some little tips and strategies on how to hit those goals. And so today I just wanted to spend a little bit of time before we get ready to shift gears again for the next month already. It's just flying by, doesn't it? But anyway, one of the things that a lot of people, kind of their goal is to look better and to feel better, right? And in fact, feeling better oftentimes is the bigger goal. And one of the areas we always want to try to feel better is we want more energy. But at the end of the day, a lot of times, by the time we get home, we're just exhausted and we're tired. The afternoon hits and we're looking for that pick-me-up, right? And so what happens is we start to set ourselves up with these rhythms that actually produce more bad choices and causes us to feel poorly or lack of energy. And so a lot of times we'll kind of get wore down, whether that's mental stress, physical stress, all of these stressors, right? And then we look for a pick-me-up. And a lot of times we'll reach for either, something sugary or we'll reach for caffeine, which will temporarily boost us up, right? But then we crash. And it really creates this whole environment and this whole hormone situation in our body that actually ends up causing us to feel more fatigue and more wore out. And so as we start to come to the end of this month, a lot of times patients start to, maybe lose interest in their goals because they're just wore out. And so a couple of things I want to remind you is one of them is, give yourself time mentally to take a few breaks throughout the day. And spiritually, it's a great time for some meditation or some prayer throughout your day. It doesn't have to be long. It could be short little couple of minute breaks here, a couple minute break there, a couple minute break there, just to kind of give a chance to remind yourself to breathe and relax and take some of that tension out. That tension wears the body down. And that tension is also what causes a lot of problems, which is why, it's good to see a chiropractor, I think. When we're stuck like this all the time, those joints start to lock up. And then even if we do relax, we can't relax completely because we're still protecting that locked up joint. It puts stress on the nervous system. And it's always kind of the fun, interesting thing about what I do is a lot of times we see patients that, start to feel a little bit better, but then they're more willing to take that next step and then that next step. And, before long, 2 months into things, 3 months after starting chiropractic care, their whole life has changed, mostly because of the little changes that they made at home, right? It's not that chiropractic did everything, but it was one of those things that kind of got that ball started, right? Started to help them feel a little bit more focused and energized, and so that they could continue to do the next good thing. But developing awareness that each little thing, it doesn't always have to be, I'm going to work out for 30 minutes a day. That's a great goal. Or an hour a day. That's a great goal. I'm going to eat only healthy foods. You should. These are good things. These are things to strive for. But sometimes as we, if we start out too gung-ho, like I said, we kind of get burned out. And so I just want to remind you, just keep incorporating little things, whether it's reaching for an apple instead of a candy bar, maybe reaching for that next cup of water instead of that second cup of coffee, right? These little things can start to accumulate, and before long, before you know it, you're actually starting to achieve those big goals that you had at the beginning of the year, and you're able to continue with the game plan, the SMART goals that you set a few weeks ago. So anyway, I hope you got something from today, a little tip or something that just reminds you to just keep doing little things, and eventually the big things will come. So until next time, stay healthy, stay well.